Hey, what's up everybody? Welcome back to another Layer by Layer, the continuation of splitting the PiGRRL Zero case. So yesterday I did a live stream on taking the PiGRRL Zero case and splitting it in half for smaller printers with smaller beds. They could be small printers, of course. So I've went ahead and 3D printed the parts. If you didn't see the stream yesterday, you can check it out on the Layer by Layer playlist. So here's the parts. The finger joints came out pretty well. Of course, I did a tolerance adjustment so that there's a little bit of a gap for these guys, so they snap together like that. And I also did these little, they're not really finger joints, because if I were to make them a finger joint, you would have some overhang. So I tried doing it out and see if that would do anything. I don't think it really does much, because I can still split the case apart, and it's really tight tolerances, so I'm wondering if it's too tight or not. But for this particular printer, the printer bot play in the back, and the settings that I used, it worked out pretty well. So no glue here, just snap fit friction together, so that works okay. For this one's really the challenging one, because there's not enough room here on this end to add a finger joint. Up here we have a little bit of room for a finger joint, so it's one finger joint and it falls apart. But the thing is, something that can keep it together is the actual component. So this is the 2.2 inch Adafruit Pi TFT, and if I can snap it in like that, it snaps in, and it kind of keeps the case together here, or at least the top part. So the question is, can I snap them together? And everything is okay. You get a nice satisfying clamp. Everything seems to hold okay. So this is no glue. It's just straight up finger joints. So that kind of works well. I'm thinking about doing something different here, which I was going to cover today on today's stream. But so far it's okay. It's not too bad. You can the seams are definitely noticeable. The problem here is that I do get a gap on this side here. You can see that gap. It's pretty noticeable, and that's because the lip here that's clamping the two pieces together are somewhat pulling them apart. So I guess a little bit of glue would help, but it's certainly a lot better than just cutting straight edge. It would not hold like it is now. So that's kind of nice. So real quickly, I will share with you guys sort of what I put together, if Fusion will behave with me. So here's basically what I put together. So if you guys know the way I'm putting the, let's take a quick look here. So the way the two pieces are being held together is with this sort of clamping mechanism, I guess we can call it. There's a little nub on the top part, and this part has an extended lip that sort of clips into that nub for the other part. So I thought, why not do that, but on the edge here, going from the top to bottom. So that's what I tried to come up with, and it sort of works. Let me get rid of the analysis. I'm printing it right now in the background, so I'm not sure if it'll work or not, but I figured I'd try to share it with you guys here. So here's what it looks like coming in. And of course, when you have something extending out and just floating in space, you're going to have some problems with overhang. It's going to be all saggy and terrible. So there are 45-degree chamfers on this edge here. So hopefully that prints well. And then it's about the same thickness as the lip, so it's 1 millimeter thick, which is as thin as you can probably go on an FDM printer with a 0.4 millimeter nozzle. And then that's of course just like chamfered over here as well. So the main thing I wanted to do by doing this, let me show you the other split piece. This piece just has a nub and a bit of a cavity here for the clamp to rest into. So the thing I had to do was I actually had to take away some material from the wall. So the wall is I set it to, as a shell, I set it to 1.5 millimeters thick. So I actually took away 1.5 millimeters, it's half a millimeter, from the wall and added this nub here to that. So that was done on both sides. So what I'm hoping is this will keep the parts together so that it can kind of alleviate that or counteract the sort of gap that we're getting that I showed you earlier. So that's what I'm hoping will work out. If the tolerances are all okay, it should be fine. If not, I think leaving it as is will be okay too. Certainly a lot better than just having a clean straight edge cut. I think that's it there. I haven't even done this to the second part. This is just sort of a test to see. Now the way I created it was I would typically do like sketches, but instead I'm actually just, if I roll back, you can see how I did it. I'm actually just using the primitives tool, so you can create primitives, which is pretty easy. I guess I could show you real quick. Let me step forward to about right here. Yeah, right there is fine. So the way you can create primitives, if you, my little easy menu thing is gone, so I'm using the floaty right click menu for everything now. I just haven't had time to restart Fusion. So if you go to create, you get all these perimeters or primitive shapes, and they're just your basic shapes. So if I hit box, for example, it looks like, hey, pick on a surface or a plane so you can draw on it. The cool thing is that it won't actually make a sketch. It'll just create a temporary sketch, I guess you can say. You can see that the gold color, the orange goldish color, is noting that, hey, that's what you're drawing on, and that's the surface that I'm projecting. So you can reference lines, as you see here, like the little X, little turquoise color X that says like I'm locked to that edge. So if I click on it, I have these manipulators, all these little arrows, which lets me fine tune the primitive shape. So that's how I built it. Instead of using sketches, I built that. Normally I always do sketches for everything, but I think this saves me at least one step from having to extrude, because it's already extruding. And then when you want to edit it, it always goes back to this thing. You just double click on the feature, and then you can just fine tune it like this, or enter any things here. You get the same type of operation. You can make a new body, or a join, or a cut, or an intersect, whatever you want. So that's basically how I made this stuff here. So all that stuff is just derived from primitives. So that's about it. Taking a look at the slice here, you can see that it's as thin as I could get it, I think. You can see that it's just two perimeters. It's like crazy. I don't know if that's gonna work. That's just showing like the little nub part, and then I should probably slice out the second piece here. That was, I believe, B. Testing. Hello? Hello? Yeah, that's fine. Alright, well, yeah, you know, audio is probably the worst thing about this stream. Thanks, Magnus, for telling me that. There's always a problem with the audio. I'm not sure why. But anyway, that's basically what I wanted to cover in this stream. I could release these files, but I'm just trying to make it a little bit better. So that's about it. If you guys have any questions, go ahead and drop them in the chat. Finger joints worked out well. Again, these little things don't really do anything. Having the component mounted here actually worked out well. It's not even fastened in yet. They're just snapped. The little mounting holes are snapped into the pegs here. But you could, I guess, with force, you can of course break it apart, and it's still, you know, easy to take apart. So there's that half. There's that half. And I do have screws that I would mount here on these two corners, but not up here, mainly because the screws will ensure that these guys aren't that this component stays where it's supposed to, because when you have buttons, you're going to do a lot of stress on them. So that's why I opted for screws here, but not up here, because there's not much stress happening up here. And my stream is incredibly slow right now, so it's hard for me to keep up with the monitor. But anyway, I think that's it. It's probably like the shortest stream I've done in a while. I was just gonna, you know, sit back and kind of wait for the printer while I'm sorting out future projects. Tomorrow is 3D Hangouts with myself and Pedro, where we will release a Star Trek communicator project using the Fona Feather and a couple other components. But yeah, this is about these two. Oh, look at that. Something a little bit different there. Yeah, see how that gets in there. That's why you want to mount those screws in there, because it can do that. Or at least use pegs or something, right? But anyway, I was trying to say the parts are within the bounds of 100 millimeters. I think they're like 90 by like 40 millimeters or so. This thing will tell me here in the slicer. I've already deleted it, so let me bring it back just to let you guys know how big it is. I don't know if there's a printer that has a smaller build volume than 100 by 100. Perhaps the Fabricator. Oh, I know which one. The Ember.